for that severe weather development. Something else we're watching with this little area that you see spinning off to the north and east is going to be the easterly wind that it pulls in along with it, helping to amplify our wind shear or change in wind speed with direction. And that's why we have the chance for a few isolated tornadoes as we head throughout the afternoon and evening as well. The Storm Prediction Center right now has us in a widespread level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. It's not every day that we see a level 3 out of 5 risk. It is relatively rare for our area, but what's even more uncommon is how widespread the threat is. Everyone has an equal chance of seeing some really significant severe weather throughout the afternoon, with our biggest concern being widespread wind damage. Pretty much everyone you see highlighted there in orange, that's where we could see winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour with isolated gusts possible as well in what we know as microbursts. That's what we saw 2 Saturdays ago. Maybe you remember people saying it felt like a tornado or a derecho, but it was really just a powerful downburst of wind when you get this sinking cold air, some dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere helping to push it right down to the surface, resulting in those winds that can gust 70 to 80 miles per hour. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about throughout the day today. We also have a 5% probability of an isolated tornado. And I know 5% doesn't sound like much, but anytime we have any chance of an isolated tornado like this, you know it is significant and something we'll be watching really carefully throughout the afternoon as these storms roll in. So you can see everywhere shaded there in that tan, that's where we have that 5% chance. But I think we could hone in a little bit closer to parts of Montgomery County, Howard County, off to the north and west, back into parts of Frederick County as well, and over off to the north and east, closer to the I-85 corridor in Baltimore. That's where I think we have the best chance of seeing these storms interacting with the upper level jet stream that could create a little bit of a spin in the atmosphere, enough to trigger an isolated tornado or two. So let's time out these storms here using Futurecast. And as we talk through this, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out on social media. I'll be answering your questions all day long as we continue to track these storms. I'll be back in with Topper this evening as well. So as we head throughout the morning, clouds should clear out. That will again help to amplify the amount of instability in the atmosphere. We have plenty of moisture, and that sunshine should really just help juice things up as we head into the afternoon. This is right around 2 p.m. I think Futurecast looks a little lackluster in terms of what we could see. I wouldn't be surprised to see a supercell or two forming around this time, but pretty much right where you see that shading of green, I think it will just be a little bit more intense than what Futurecast is indicating. But as we head throughout the afternoon, this is 4 p.m. that really strong line of storms starts to take shape. It's going to be a powerful, long squall line of storms that marches from west to east. Now, what's going to be tricky about this storm system is the isolated embedded tornadoes. It's not a typical, storm setup where we just see these isolated storms that start to spin and trigger tornado warnings. Any tornado warnings would be embedded within this really long, powerful line of storms as it pushes off to the east. This is 6 p.m. right around the evening commute is when the worst of the weather is expected to be rolling through the D.C. area as they continue to push off to the east during the evening drive. I think they're east of 95 by around 8 o'clock this evening. We could see a few lingering showers or downpours later on tonight, but I think as you're checking in with Topper around 11 p.m., we will have shifted our focus from tracking the storms to cleaning up from the storms. My biggest concern is going to be the damaging wind. We had so much heavy rain yesterday as well that the ground is already really saturated, not going to take much to uproot some big trees, bring down power lines as well. So a recap on the timing, starting around 2 o'clock, first in our western counties along the I-81 corridor and pushing east throughout the evening. Damaging winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour with some localized gusts within those microbursts possible. Isolated tornadoes not out of the question. Large hail and flooding also on the table. When it comes to that large hail, think about where you park this afternoon. If you can park your car under cover, that is going to be your best bet. If we do start to see some large hail developing in these storms or ahead of the storms, of course, you could put a blanket or a tarp over your car. That can make a difference in damage that you sustain to your vehicle when it comes to hail like we could be seeing this afternoon, and flooding just because we're going to have so much moisture in the atmosphere. We have isolated street flooding possible. Any storm drains that might be clogged could lead to some flooding. And of course, with downpours, local rivers and streams can rise pretty quickly, especially those smaller ones. So the best thing you can be doing right now is prepare. Make sure you know where to go when these storms develop. Of course, with a tornado warning, we know to seek shelter. Go to that small interior room. A basement is best. Maybe you work or live in a high-rise building. The stairwell away from windows is where you should go, and as far to the ground level as you can. Or if you have a parking garage, that can be a safe place to shelter as well. But keep in mind, I don't think we're going to need tornado warnings to cause significant wind damage. These microbursts are just really powerful downbursts of wind can bring down large trees, branches, and power lines. So it's a safe bet to shelter even as these storms roll through if they do not have a tornado warning. And make sure you have a place to get alerts, a way to get alerts. Download our WUSA 9 app. Not only can you track the radar right in the palm of your hand, but if severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings are issued, you will get it sent straight to your phone. You can also stream our coverage live, so when you do find that shelter or that safe place, you can continue to watch us as we track these storms throughout the afternoon. If you're home when it happens and you're watching us on TV, turn up the TV's volume and then go to that safe place, and we will talk you through when these storms clear out of your neighborhood. And just make sure you stay weather aware today. I know it sounds simple, but be checking in with us throughout the day today. We'll be keeping you updated not only on our app and our website, but also on air as these storms start to develop. So again, it's going to feel like a severe weather day in just a couple hours here. High temperatures heading back into the low 90s. No shortage of humidity as well. It is sticky as you step outside. Current dew point is 72, and that's when you start to feel it. And that's where dew points will stay throughout the day today, helping to fuel the environment. Now, behind the storms, we do catch a bit of relief as we head toward Tuesday. Tomorrow is going to be fantastic. We just have to get through these storms first. Dew points will drop down into the 50s, really comfortable for any outdoor plans, and you'll want to enjoy the comfortable temperatures and lower humidity, because by the end of the week, especially Thursday into the weekend, that's when dew points are back in the low 70s. Temperatures tomorrow morning, you getting outside will be in the upper 70s and low 60s. Pretty comfortable start to your Tuesday forecast, and will stay much cooler as well in the mid to upper 80s, and without the humidity. Again, just feeling fantastic once we get past the weather watch alert for today. So again, that does go into effect already this morning. It will continue throughout the evening for those strong and severe storms. In the wake of them, breezy conditions for Tuesday, really nice on Wednesday, temperatures a few degrees warmer. Our next chance for storms beyond today will be on Thursday, mostly in the afternoon and evening. Looks like they could be widespread, possibly severe, but nowhere near the risk that we're talking about for today. And then as we head into Friday and the weekend, we keep rain chances in the forecast as well. So we do want to take you back here to the start and show you what we're watching if you're just joining us now, and what you need to know as we head throughout the afternoon. We'll do a quick recap here and then get you on your way for this morning. And again, if you think of any questions, any uncertainties in the forecast, be sure to reach out on social media at Kaitlyn McGrath. Happy to answer any questions you may have as we navigate what will be a very active afternoon. Here's that live look outside. We do have clouds to start, but those clouds should clear this afternoon, and how quickly they clear could indicate how unstable the atmosphere can become. They're all ahead of this little area of low pressure we're watching over the Ohio River Valley, but expecting them to push out throughout the morning, bring sunshine back into the forecast ahead of the storms as they roll in this afternoon. And cannot stress enough that this is an unusually high risk for severe weather. Just about everyone in our area under that level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is issued by the Storm Prediction Center, and the Storm Prediction Center has said there is some indication that we could see a few areas, part of our region, go up to a level 4 out of 5. That is incredibly rare for our area. In addition to the Storm Prediction Center outlook for severe weather, they also have us under a 5% chance for an isolated tornado or two. And as we mentioned, those would be embedded in this primary line of storms as they develop. So we'll talk you through it hour by hour one more time before we get you on your way for this Monday morning. As we head throughout the morning, clouds will clear. Sunshine prevails. This is right around 12 p.m. No issues around lunchtime, but it's shortly thereafter that we see these storms develop along the I-81 corridor. This is 2 p.m. I think we could see a few feistier storms than what Futurecast is indicating. This is when we start to see the threat for those damaging winds and large hail before the primary line of storms really starts to develop around 4 p.m. Again, we're talking about a strong line of storms impacting the entire region. This is not a day with isolated storms that just impact a few areas. This is everyone at risk for widespread severe weather, with the biggest concern concerns being those damaging winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour, localized gusts even higher than that, with a few spin-up tornadoes embedded in this line of storms. So it will be a busy afternoon here in the Weather Center. We have the full team keeping you safe, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on these storms as they roll in. And again, make sure you download the WUSA 9 app if you haven't done so already. You will get those alerts sent straight to your phone so you can track the storms as they roll in.